Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, there has to be more than this? More than the routine? More than the noise? More than just existing? That whisper inside you, the one you keep ignoring, isn't random. It's not weakness. It's the sound of your purpose calling your name. And the truth is this, until you answer that call, nothing else will ever feel like enough. 1. Have you ever wondered how many people wake up every day, rush through their morning routine, go to work, come home and go to bed, only to repeat the same pattern the next day? They're not really living, they're surviving. The truth is, most people spend their entire lives on autopilot, going through motions without ever questioning why. We call it being responsible, we call it being practical, but what it really is disconnection. We've become so consumed by the expectations of society that we've forgotten to ask the most fundamental question, what do I truly want from my life? We follow templates that were handed to us: get a degree, get a job, get married, buy a house, retire. But nowhere in that blueprint does it say, discover who you are. No one teaches you that part. And yet it's the most important lesson of all. Because until you understand who you are and what lights your soul on fire, everything else will always feel like a shadow of what could be. We often confuse activity with purpose. Just because you're busy doesn't mean you're building something meaningful. You can work 12 hours a day and still feel empty inside. You can achieve every goal you set and still wake up with that hollow feeling, the one that whispers, is this it? That's not laziness, that's not ingratitude. That's the quiet ache of a soul that knows it was made for something more. We live in a culture that celebrates hustle but rarely celebrates alignment. We glorify exhaustion, call it ambition, and wear burnout like a badge of honor. But the truth is, motion without meaning is madness. You could climb the highest mountain, only to realize it was the wrong one. And that's what happens when you live life on autopilot. You keep moving, but you're not going anywhere. So, how do you break free from that cycle? It begins with brutal honesty. The kind of honesty that shakes you. You have to ask yourself questions that make you uncomfortable. Am I living my truth, or just performing a version of myself that pleases others? Am I chasing dreams that belong to me, or ones that were handed down to me by family, friends, or society? And these questions aren't easy. They demand courage because the answers might require you to change everything you've been taught to value. But if you never stop to ask, you'll never truly know who you are. Too many people silence their inner voice because they're afraid of what it might say. But that voice, the quiet one that keeps nudging you toward something different, is not confusion. It's your intuition, your purpose, trying to wake you up. Living on autopill. OT numbs that voice. It tricks you into believing that comfort equals happiness. You find yourself accepting things that drain you because they're familiar. You convince yourself that stability is the same as fulfillment. But deep down, there's a part of you that knows you're meant for more. That's why no matter how much you achieve, there's still an emptiness inside. Your soul wasn't designed for routine. It was designed for evolution. You're meant to grow, to question, to explore, to create. Yet, so many of us trade that growth for predictability because we fear the unknown. We think the pain of change is greater than the pain of staying stuck. But here's the truth. Staying stuck is the slowest kind of death. Every time you silence your calling, you dim your own light just a little more. To escape autopilot, you must be willing to disrupt your own life. That means reevaluating everything, your work, your relationships, your habits, even your dreams. It means getting comfortable with discomfort. You might have to let go of what's good to make room for what's great. You might have to walk away from people who only knew the old version of you. You might have to face the fear that maybe you don't know what's next, and that's okay. Because the moment you choose awareness over routine, you start reclaiming your power. Awareness gives you clarity, and clarity gives you direction. You stop drifting and start deciding. Every choice becomes intentional. Every step becomes meaningful. And even if you're not exactly where you want to be, you know you're finally on the right path. Your path. The irony is that once you step out of autopilot, life doesn't necessarily get easier. It gets realer. You'll feel more, you'll see more. You'll confront truths you've ignored for years. But you'll also start to feel alive in a way you never have before. Suddenly, even the small things, the sunrise, the laughter, the quiet moments, begin to feel extraordinary. That's what happens when wake up to your own life. You stop being a spectator and become the author. You start to see that purpose isn't something you find, it's something you build, day by day, choice by choice. It's not hiding in a book, or a job title, or a relationship. It's been waiting inside you all along, buried beneath layers of fear, doubt, and conformity. So, if you feel lost, if you feel stuck, if you feel like you're just going through the motions, know this, it's not too late to wake up. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to start asking the right questions. You need to give yourself permission to feel, to fail, to explore, to become. Because your life is not meant to be a checklist. It's meant to be a masterpiece. And masterpieces are never created by staying safe. They're born from chaos, courage, and authenticity. The world doesn't need another person living on autopilot. The world needs you, awake, aware, alive, and unapologetically chasing what sets your soul on fire. You are not here to simply exist. You are here to live with intention, to stop drifting and start choosing, to break free from autopilot and step boldly into your own truth. Because the moment you wake up to your purpose, you stop being part of the crowd and you start becoming the reason others wake up too. Pain. It's the one thing we all try to run from, hide from, numb, or disguise. We label it as failure, as bad luck, as unfair, but rarely do we see it for what it truly is, a teacher. Pain is not punishment, it's communication. It's life's way of saying, pay attention, something needs to change. Yet most of us do the opposite. We drown it out. We distract ourselves with noise, busyness, or temporary pleasures. We pretend we're fine because we've been taught that vulnerability is weakness. But let me tell you something. Pain is not weakness. Pain is data. It's information about who you are, what matters to you, and what no longer fits in your life. When you start listening in, instead of resisting, pain transforms from an enemy into a guide. It shows you where you've been settling, where you've been silent, and where you've been betraying yourself just to stay comfortable. The truth is, the moments that break you often build you in ways comfort never could. Think about the times that truly changed you. The heartbreaks, the rejections, the losses, the failures. Those weren't random accidents, they were awakenings. Every crack in your heart was an opening. Every tear was clearing space for something new to grow. Pain humbles us. It strips away our ego, our illusions, our excuses, until we're left face to face with who we really are. It demands that we stop pretending. When everything falls apart, you stop chasing approval and start searching for truth. You realize that what hurt you didn't destroy you, it revealed you. It uncovered the parts of you that needed healing, the lessons you needed to learn, the strength you didn't know you had. That's how purpose begins. To form through the friction of struggle, through the fire of transformation. But here's the hard part. Most people never stay in the pain long enough to hear what it's trying to say. The moment it gets uncomfortable, they shut down. They look for distractions, for instant relief. They run back to what's familiar, even if it's toxic, because it feels safer than the unknown. But the truth is, every time you avoid pain, you delay your growth. Avoiding discomfort is like pressing pause on your own evolution. Because the pain you avoid today becomes the weight you carry tomorrow. You have to let yourself feel it, not to suffer, but to understand. Because every emotion you suppress finds another way to speak. It might show up as anxiety, frustration, exhaustion, or emptiness. But when you face your pain with courage, when you stop fighting it and start learning from it, that's when it begins to release its grip on you. Pain loses its power when it's acknowledged. You see, the same pain that breaks your heart can also awaken your purpose if you let it. Maybe your heartbreak taught you compassion. Maybe your failure taught you resilience. Maybe your loss taught you gratitude. Nothing you've been through is wasted when you decide to use it. Every scar tells a story of survival, and those stories, they become the foundation of your strength. You start realizing that the things that once felt unbearable are the very things that gave you depth. They gave you empathy. They gave you perspective. Purpose doesn't grow in perfection, it grows in the soil of struggle. The most powerful people you'll ever meet are not the ones who've had it easy, they're the ones who've turned their pain into power, their wounds into wisdom. They stopped asking, why me? And started asking, what is this trying to teach me? Pain also has a way of clarifying what truly matters. When you're hurting, the noise fades, the people who care stay, the distractions fall away. You begin to see life with sharper eyes, cleaner priorities. You stop chasing everything and start valuing the few things that truly feed your soul. Sometimes it takes being broken to understand what's worth rebuilding. Pain doesn't just show you what's wrong, it reveals what's alright. It realigns you with your values, your truth, your purpose. It reminds you of your humanity. And once you've felt the kind of pain that strips you to your core, you stop living on the surface. You begin to live with depth, with awareness, with intention. You stop seeking validation and start seeking meaning. Because once pain has taught you who you are, you can never go back to pretending you don't know. And that's the ultimate power of pain. It awakens your purpose. It sharpens your vision. It teaches you empathy, resilience, and authenticity. The next time life knocks you down, instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Try asking, what is this preparing me for? Because purpose often hides behind the things that hurt the most. Your pain is not a prison, it's a passage. It's the bridge between who you were and who you're becoming. So don't numb it, don't run from it, listen to it, learn from it, let it refine you. Because when you rise, not in spite of your pain but because of it, you carry a power that no one can take from you. That's the kind of strength that moves mountains, that inspires others, that changes lives. Sure, pain is not the end of your story, it's the beginning of your purpose. Every wound is wisdom waiting to be claimed. Every scar is proof that you've survived something that was meant to break you, and you're still standing. So don't curse your pain, honor it, because one day it will be the reason someone else finds the courage to heal, and that is where true purpose begins. We live in a world obsessed with success, but the kind of success we're taught to chase is often an illusion. From the moment we're old enough to dream, we're handed a checklist. Get the grades, get the job, get the house, get the status. We're told that if we just keep ticking those boxes, we'll eventually feel whole. But have you noticed that no matter how much you achieve, that deep satisfaction never lasts? You reach one goal, and almost instantly, you're chasing the next. It's like drinking salt water. The more you consume, the thirstier you become. That's because what we're chasing isn't our definition of success, it's someone else's. Society sells us a version of fulfillment that looks good from the outside, but feels hollow on the inside. And the more we buy into it, the further we drift from who we really are. The truth is, real success isn't about how much you have. It's about how aligned you are. You can have 1 million followers, a corner office, a beautiful home, and still feel lost. Because success without alignment is emptiness dressed up as achievement. We've mistaken recognition for purpose, applause for meaning, and status for significance. But all the titles and ease in the world can't replace the feeling of waking up every morning knowing you're living our true truth. Alignment is when what you do, what you believe, and who you are all move in the same direction. It's when your soul nods in agreement with your choices. And that feeling, that quiet, deep sense of peace, is worth more than any amount of money or fame. But redefining success means you have to unlearn what you've been conditioned to believe. It requires courage to step off the treadmill and ask, what does success look like for me? And a terrifying question, because it forces you to confront your truth, and your truth might not match society's standards. Maybe your version of success is simplicity. Maybe it's freedom. Maybe it's raising a family, building art, traveling the world, or serving others. There is no one-size-fits-all definition. Yet we keep comparing our behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel, wondering why we feel like we're falling behind. But the only person you're in competition with is the person you were yesterday. The moment you stop trying to fit into someone else's version of success, you start designing your own. And that's when your life begins to feel authentic. To redefine success, you must be willing to let go of validation. The need for approval is the biggest thief of purpose. When you build your life on other people's opinions, you lose your foundation the moment they stop clapping. Think about it. How many choices have you made out of fear of judgment? How many dreams have you buried because they didn't fit the mold? We've been programmed to equate worth with achievement, as if our value depends on what we produce. But you are not your resume. You are not your paycheck. You are not your social media metrics. You are a living, breathing story, and your worth was never meant to be measured by numbers. When you stop chasing validation, you make space for authenticity. And authenticity is where true success begins to grow. Here's the thing. Success that's built on your truth doesn't always look glamorous. It's not always loud. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it's slow. Sometimes it means taking a step back so you can move forward in a direction that actually matters. It's saying no to opportunities that don't align with your purpose, even if they look shiny from afar. It's choosing peace over pressure. It's being proud of yourself, even when no one's watching. That kind of success doesn't need to be announced. It's felt. It radiates from within. It's the calm that comes when you stop trying to prove something and start living something. And the irony is, when you live from that space of authenticity, success finds you. Not because you chased it, but because you became it. So, redefine success on your own terms. Stop waiting for permission. Stop seeking approval. You don't need to be the best. You just need to be real. The world doesn't need another person performing perfection. It needs people brave enough to be genuine. Your journey might not look like anyone else's, and that's the beauty of it. Because success isn't about fitting in. It's about standing out by being yourself. When you live aligned with your truth, you attract opportunities, people, and moments that resonate with your soul. You stop chasing and start magnetizing. You stop striving and start thriving. Success is not about how the world sees you. It's about how you see yourself when the world is silent. It's the peace you feel when you lay your head down at night, knowing you stayed true to who you are. So stop measuring your worth by someone else's yardstick. Define your own success, live your own truth, and let your life be the loudest proof that authenticity always wins. Courage. It's one of those words we admire in others but struggle to find in ourselves. We talk about it as if it's some rare quality that only heroes possess. But courage isn't about saving the world. It's about saving yourself from a life that doesn't belong to you. It's not a roar, it's a whisper that says, keep going. It's the decision to take one more step when everything in you wants to stop. Courage is not something you wait to feel. It's something you would choose to do. Because purpose, truth, and fulfillment don't live in the safe zones of life. They exist just beyond your fear, waiting for you to take that leap of faith. And the hard truth is this. If you want to discover who you truly are, you're going to have to get uncomfortable. You're going to have to let go of the illusion of control and walk straight into the unknown. We spend so much time waiting for the perfect moment, the right plan, the feeling of readiness. But courage doesn't wait for certainty. It moves despite uncertainty. If you only act when it's safe, you'll spend your entire life standing still. The reality is, fear will always be there. It's not going away. The difference between those who create extraordinary lives and those who don't isn't the absence of fear. It's the refusal to be ruled by it. Every single person you admire, every person who has ever done something meaningful, has felt fear. The only difference is they walked through it anyway. Courage is not about ignoring fear, it's about dancing with it. It's about saying, I see you, I feel you, but you will not stop me. And once you do that, once you take that first terrifying step, fear starts to lose its power. The most dangerous comfort zone is the one that looks like success. It's the life that looks fine from the outside but feels empty inside. It's the steady job that drains your soul, the relationship that keeps you small, the routine that feels safe but suffocating. We convince ourselves that it's better to stay where we are than risk the unknown. But deep down, you know that comfort isn't peace. It's paralysis. You are not built for smallness. You are not designed to repeat yesterday. You are meant to expand, to evolve, to explore. And every time you choose comfort over courage, you trade your potential for temporary safety. You silence the call that keeps asking for more. But courage? Courage is what bridges the gap between where you are and who you could become. It's the bridge between ordinary and extraordinary, between existing and living. Courage is also the willingness to lose people who don't understand your growth. Not everyone will clap when you change. Some will feel threatened. Some will question your choices. Some will try to pull you back into who you used to be, because your growth reminds them of their stagnation. But you cannot shrink yourself to make others comfortable. You cannot dim your light because someone else prefers the dark. Courage is standing firm in your truth even when it isolates you. It's saying, I respect your opinion, but I'm not living for your approval. And yes, it will hurt. You will feel lonely at times. But that loneliness is not emptiness. It's space. Space being cleared for the people and experiences that actually align with your purpose. When you choose courage, you create a room for the right things to find you. And here's the thing about courage. It grows through action. You don't think your way into bravery. You act your way into it. Every time you do something that scares you, you prove to yourself that you can. You build evidence of your strength. The first time it's terrifying, the second time it's uncomfortable, the third time it's familiar. And then one day what used to paralyze you becomes second nature. That's how courage works. It's built in repetition, not perfection. The more you practice it, the more it becomes who you are. And when you start to live from a place of courage, everything changes. You stop asking for permission. You stop waiting for signs. You realize that fear is not the enemy, it's the invitation. Every challenge becomes an opportunity to rise higher, to live bolder, to stand taller in your truth. The truth is, courage isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. It's a muscle. And the more you use it, the stronger it becomes. You don't need to see the whole path. You just need to take the next step. Because courage isn't about never falling. It's about refusing to stay down. It's waking up every day and saying, today I choose faith over fear. Today I choose purpose over perfection. That's how you grow. That's how you evolve. That's how you build a life that feels alive. You don't find courage in certainty. You find it in motion. You find it in the moments you choose to move forward. Even when your hands are shaking and your heart is pounding. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's the power to move through it. It's standing face to face with doubt and saying, I will not shrink. It's trusting that even if the road is dark, your next step will always appear when you take it. So stop waiting for fear to fade. Stop waiting to feel ready. Choose courage now. Because every bold step you take is a declaration to the world and to yourself that you were never meant to live small. You were meant to rise, to lead, and to live with purpose. Purpose is not just about finding what makes you happy. It's about discovering what makes you useful. It's about understanding that your life isn't just yours alone. It's connected to something bigger. The truth is, fulfillment doesn't come from what you get, it comes from what you give. And you can achieve everything the world calls success, But if your life only revolves around your own comfort, you'll always feel a quiet emptiness inside. Because deep down, the soul craves contribution. It wants to matter. It wants to leave a mark. You were never meant to live a life of isolation. You were meant to impact the lives of others. The greatest joy you will ever